Okay, I think we're good to go. We are live. Awesome. Hi, guys. This is Georgia's youngest brand new sales director, Mallory James. Um, I've got my computer on the floor because it's charging, so we're making this happen. But I'm the daughter of National Sales Director Cecilia James. And Brittany had asked me to just share with you guys a little bit about me and my story. And so I'm going to and then do a little bit of training. I started my Mary Kay business 11 months ago in February on my 18th birthday and signed at midnight on the like at midnight on my birthday. And we did the agreement and we did like a Facebook Live and it was just super exciting. And we got a lot of great feedback from it. And so, yeah, I started my business. Excuse me, as a full-time high school student. And I was a student athlete and I was playing soccer and doing basketball cheer. And I was really just enjoying my senior year. And I was working Mary Kay in the evening. I would come home from school. Actually, no, I would go to school and then go to soccer, and then I would come home and shower, and then I would go do a party and or a facial. If I had cheer that night, I would do that and then go do my party. And that's how I work my business. And I committed to working on the weekends as well. And so it just worked for me. So I worked throughout the summer, and let's see, July came, we had seminar, which was great. And we are in the review seminar with you guys. If I haven't met any of you yet, hopefully I'll meet you either at leadership or at seminar, or career conference. So it was just exciting. And we got to seminar and something just changed. And I had always known since I was a little girl that I wanted to be a director. But something just sparked within me and I was ready to go home and make it happen. And I just left committed to making that happen. And so when was it? August, came home and my mom said, you need to see 60 faces this month. And I said, okay. And I said, I'm going to do it. And she was like, well, I'll believe it when I see it. And I was like, what? And she was just messing with me, but like I think she really wanted to see it in order to believe it. So that's what I did. I did 60 faces in August, 60 faces in September, and went on target for my car. And I submitted DIQ October 1st. And at 18 years old, I started my full-time college at the University of North Georgia in August as well. So you can imagine that I did feel a little bit overwhelmed going into college, taking a full load as a brand new freshman and going on target for my car and becoming a director as well. But I just knew that busy people make the best consultants, and that I could make this happen to get this done. So that's what I did. And my DIQ journey was a little bit stressful. And it was honestly because I started off not seeing as enough faces as I did. And like I told you guys, I went on target for what was it, my cruise in September, and I accidentally fell out of that in October because I wasn't seeing enough faces. And you guys, it's so important that you see the faces because that's where it's all at. And so in October, my DIQ journey really suffered from that. And I didn't see enough faces, and I like hit production right at production. So then November, that was the same thing, and we had done better that month, but I was still getting all the no's in the world, all the obligation. No, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like literally every objection you would possibly get, I got. And I just felt really discouraged as a DIQ, and in the middle, I was like, wow, like Christmas is coming up, and what am I gonna do? And so I started thinking, okay, like I've got to think outside the box. I've got to see more faces. And I still realized I really just wasn't asking enough people. And so I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I just knew that I wasn't. So here comes December, and we all know that we think December basically is just kind of like a month where we feel like we're not going to be able to recruit. And we feel like everyone's busy, everyone's slow. And I know, Brittany, you were a big like go-getter about, showing out that December is not that type of month. Well, it's not. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. And so December for me was amazing. And I have like some notes I'm looking at and like talking to you guys at the same time. So I can kind of see what's going on here and not get sidetracked. But December, I recruited somebody on the first day of the month and went to Gore Mayfield Banks. She came to Georgia and did an event. And I went to her event with her it was 4 of her offspring nationals that came, or 3 of them. I don't remember, but it was awesome. And they talked about having a delicious December, and Gloria personally challenged me to do a gold medal. And I said, okay, Mom, well, I'm not ending December and not telling GMB that I got a gold medal. So that's what I did. And I did a power start in December, and I got my gold medal. Went back on target for car, and we did 7,000 in personal production in December, which was amazing. And the highest we'd ever done is 5,000. So we finished our unit December 31st, and I debuted as a brand new sales director, the youngest in Georgia. Actually, corporate called to tell us on January 1st, and so it was really exciting. That's a little bit about me and my background and my journey. I know in December we did 11,000 in production. We brought in 13 new beauty consultants. We had 5 stars, 7 bracelet achievers, and I have a brand new DIQ and on-target car driver under me in my unit as well. So it's just really exciting, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys because I want y'all to know that even though the holidays are now past, that even the holidays you can still make things happen, and you can still have that momentum and stuff like that. So it was great, and I loved it. And so now here we are, but I wanted to give you guys a couple pieces of advice. And I want to tell y'all something. If you noticed, I don't know if you picked up on it, but I was talking to you about how in October, November, my momentum was slow. And then obviously in December, it went bam and just flew. And so where that came from was taking personal responsibility and finally saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to do what it takes to make it happen. And so that's what I did. And I got my girls on board. I got them motivated, and this was a great story, and Brittany asked me to tell you guys. So obviously we know that the star quarter ended on the 15th of December and for Q2, and I had I had 5,300 in production personal, and I wanted 7,800 so bad because I wanted the Apple Watch, like so bad. And I know you guys just saw that on my wrist, so I'm sure you know where this is going. And I kind of had given up on it, just to be honest with you guys. I'm very transparent. I'll tell you straight up how it is. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it or be like, oh, I did this. No, it was not perfect for me at all. And we went to our unit meeting with Jeanette Thompson. She's my adopted director since my mom was in Nashville, doesn't hold unit meetings right now. And we went to the meeting, and they were training on how to finish your star. And I was like, well, I've already finished my star. There's no way I can sell $2,400 to get to my 7,800 to finish my Apple Watch in 24 hours. There's just no way. So I had kind of given up on it. Well, we were talking about doing adopt a grandparent. And when I did the math, I was like, wait a second. If I sell 100 of these hand creams, that's $1,800. And then if I get 2 new qualifieds, which I did have people lined up and I had interviews that day, then that would put me at 2,400 because that'd be another. And I was like, wait. Okay, we're going to make this happen. So we did. And I finished, and I went out the next day. I woke, and I decided that night I was going to sell 100 hand creams and get my 2 qualified. So I did. I woke up at 8 o'clock that morning, and I started texting every single person I know. I used my script, and people were more than happy to help. In fact, I had one girl buy like 12 from me. And then I had people be like, oh, you know what? I'll take 3. I'll take 2. I'll take 4. I'll take 1. And it was just awesome. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I ended up selling 103, and I had finished earlier in the evening. Actually, it didn't even take me till like midnight. I got done around 7 p.m. and then I met with my 2 girls at Starbucks, and we got them signed up and qualified, and it was so exciting. And so we finished, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so that set the pace for me and my girls, because everyone was like, oh my gosh, like Mallory's doing it, I'm going to go do it. Oh, I see her selling that, I'm going to go sell that. Oh, she can sell that. Oh, she can, I can. And we finished our production. We needed 4,300 to finish in December to finish directorship, and we finished without my star order. But me taking action actually did help us create that momentum. So this is my Apple Watch that I earned. I don't know if you guys earned it, but it was pretty cool. So it was super exciting. And it was just a great store because it was a mental shift for me. It was definitely like a mind shift. And it took our production and our momentum and our excitement in our business from here to here. And that was awesome. So I want to tell you guys, basically, the key to this business is your willingness to do what it takes to succeed. And girl, I know I'm young, but I have grown up in this business, and more is caught than taught. And I have caught just about every single thing that I need to know. And I moved up really, really fast. And now we actually are on track for Equinox as well. So it's super, super, super exciting. And I wanted to share with you guys what I have learned. notes. Hold on one second. I know I'm going to skip a couple lines because I had already talked about these earlier. Um, Never let the fear of striking out to keep you from playing the game. So this happened with me with warm chattering. I don't know if you guys like to warm chatter or not, but I do not like it. And I used to be okay with it. I used to love it. I used to not be afraid of it. And then I stopped doing it and I got out of the habit of doing it. And now I'm like in a funk. Not anymore, but I was. And I was letting the fear of striking out keep me from playing the game. And I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. So I went out and did a booking blitz with a director in our area who's really good at warm chatting and got 10 new leads a day. And it got me out of my comfort zone. And now I'm warm chatting like crazy, booking from it and getting about 25 leads a week. So it's pretty cool. But I wanted to share with you guys some other tips. So, guys, in this business, though, obviously it takes work ethic and you just got to push through. But basically, what I decided is that that mental shift and that change, that momentum change for me, all came from deciding that I wanted it more than I was afraid of it. And despite whatever fear you have or whatever objections you have, you've got to know that you want it more than you're afraid of it. And if you don't want it, and you're not gonna, then if you don't have that desire within you, then you're not gonna do what it takes to get there because you simply just don't have the drive to do it. Like if your mom says, or your husband or whatever says, go wash the dishes, and you don't want to, you're not gonna do it, you know. And so it's just all about taking responsibility if you choose to do so. And Brittany is actually the one who told me, Mallory, this is your baby. So you've got to treat it like it's your baby. No one else is going to do this for you. Do not rely on anyone else to work your business for you, but you, only you. It's going to be only you. And I was like, that is so true. And Brittany, you're awesome. And I just love you because you give it straight. And I love that. But guys, I wanted to tell you this too. New faces do take you places. And that's really what got me through DIQ once I started to shift that momentum and go back to doing a power start. And I want you guys to know this. When I was in DIQ and things were really hard for me, I got really close with the Lord, and I always have been. But I really started praying, and I just said, why is this happening? Why am I going through this funk? Why is no one telling me yes? And like I feel so frustrated, and I just felt like I had fallen out of love with like my business. And it was like, how do I get out of that? I don't know if you guys can relate, but it was like, how do I get out of that? And even if you're just in a funk, you feel frustrated. Well, I figured out how. And the way to do this, you guys, is to simply just keep going. Keep going. If I would have stopped, I would have never finished directorship. If I would have stopped, I would have never became Georgia's youngest or went on target for Equinox or had a brand new DIQ. And you see how slow the momentum was for me. And then bam, in December, it just hyped back up. And I was like, wow, this is really it. Like, this is how it happens. You just have to keep going. And my mom is a national sales director, Cecilia James. And she always tells everybody her greatest success secret is that when everybody else quit, she kept going. And I was like, okay, wow. That's it right there. And so during DIQ, I don't know if you guys have the Sprinkle of Jesus app, but I just was like, okay, I've got to keep going. Frustrated. And you know that feeling. Well, I was in class one day and I got like a message, like a notification from the Sprinkle of Jesus app. And it said, you have been assigned this mountain to show others that it can be moved. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And like literally in the middle of class, I started crying, like, what a weirdo. I know. But it really was just kind of like, wow, like that was like God talking to me after everything. Like, I had prayed about that night. And then the next day, like he had just kind of come to me and I was like, okay. And that just proves, like, you guys, consistency is the key to success. So if you're looking to get out of a funk or you're looking to build momentum, you've got to do something that you've never done before and kind of step it up. And see the numbers. If you want a power start, you better book 60 faces, and you should be seeing 60 faces if you want to move up. And like I said earlier, it's just about your why. Go back to your why, know what it is, because one of the notifications that I got while I was in DIQ as well said that you survived because the fire inside of you burned brighter than the fire around you. And I was like, okay, this is a jaw dropper, because that was God talking to me. And I was like, okay, God, it was all I needed to hear. And I kept going. And so let me ask you guys this. What is your why? Like, really, what's your why? Don't say extra money. Don't say, oh, for my kids. Don't say the positive outlet. Like, really go deep. Like, get deep and get emotional with your why, like to the core, like something that makes you sick to your stomach. And then identify it and say, okay, write it down. Because I promise you guys, when it comes time you're going to have to come back to it. And you need to know, what is it within you that is going to keep you with tunnel vision? It's going to keep you being focused and driven. And when everything around you is crashing down, what is that that's going to keep you going? What is your fire that is going to burn within you brighter than the fire around you? And I really just think that's the key to continuing to get out of anything you're going through. And you guys, I really, 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 really want you to take a moment to identify that for yourself. Even if you got to pause this, write it down, and come back, do it, do something. But just stay consistent and rock solid with that. Because if I didn't have that for myself, I would have never finished the IQ ever. But I had to keep my why very deep and sentimental and emotional. And I had to keep near to it and be reminded of it, because when things get hard and you feel down, I promise you, if you are reminded of that, it'll be your adrenaline and your juice to keep going and keep fighting. And you've got to fight for what you want, you guys. And I'll be the first to tell you that life is not easy. It is not. It's not going to always be easy. It's not the best thing ever sometimes, but you have to have bounce back ability. And if you don't have bounce back ability, you need to gain it, especially in Mary Kay. So yeah, shorten the amount of time, like, of your pity party, get out of your comfort zone, all kinds of things like this. I wrote down, oh, the change that you are missing or resisting is the growth that you are missing. Sorry guys, I'm reading off of my small phone and I'm like, really, this is so small. But my mom told me that one time when I was telling her something I was afraid of, and she was like, well, the change that you're resisting is the growth that you are missing. And I was like, okay. So, and one thing I struggled with in DIQ is I kept going through that, and I kept doing, like, saying, okay, I've got to overcome things like that, but then I wouldn't. And I got another notification from that same app, and it said, when we reject God's advice, we forfeit his involvement. And I was like, okay, literally, I've got to get myself together. And I made the decision that I wanted it more than I was afraid of it. And that I was tired of letting things be in the way of that. And so, I have 10 points I want to leave with you guys. And number one is this: if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never, ever, ever change the goal. Okay. Number two, if you want something that you've never had, you've got to do something that you've never done before. Number three, do not fear failure. Fear being in the exact same place that you are today. Next year. Number four, success does not come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Number five, God would not have promised it or allowed it to happen unless it had a purpose. So don't just go through things, you guys, grow through them. Use them as a launching pad to become positive. Number six, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get confident with being uncertain, and don't give up, and push through your challenges. Like, that's what's going to make you grow. That's what's going to make you grow, and it is. And you've got to push through it. And these are just some success tips that I have. Number seven, always go with the choice that scares you the most, because that will make you grow the most. Number eight, if it's important to you, you will find a way. And if not, you'll find an excuse. Number nine, do not compare your life to others. There's no comparison between the sun and the moon. They shine on their own time. One of my favorite quotes. And number 10, you can never expect to succeed if you only put in the work the days that you feel like it. So guys, finish strong. The seminar year. You've got a couple of months to make it happen. This business is 90% mental and it's 10% skill. So you've got to become equipped with your skills and your mental toughness and go make things happen. Honestly, and it just starts with the power of a decision with action behind that decision. And that will determine where you're at. So where will you be at, you guys? Make a decision to set a goal, call your director and say, look, I'm ready to step up and make this happen. I'm ready to do this thing. And yeah, so those are just some of my success tips. Want to tell you guys my story, how to kind of move out of that funk and that feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm stuck, and relive that energy and that passion and bring it back. Just being consistent. So hope that helps. Enjoy it all. And I hope to see all of you soon.